Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic Guy, on Board Game Geek, just getting ready to do another session of Agents of SMERSH. We're a bunch of episodes in, we're having a good time, having really good dice luck. I hope that lasts, we'll see. I did have a bit of a downtime, got one video posted, but I was hoping to get more than one. Just had an extremely busy work week, so it is what it is. But anyway, let's get going. The first thing we need to do are some corrections. So just taking the corrections in order. One of the first ones we have, two of them, actually three of them, involve Callie Dagger. So the first one is, we actually were in Panama City and I forgot to do her secret mission objective card. That was bad of me because that could be incredibly valuable to her. So we're going to draw her top secret card from that and see what she gets. She got Jiu-Jitsu training on your turn to pass, discard a pass-or-fail test in hand-to-hand or spycraft. Okay, that's a good card for her. Anyway, that's a quick correction. The next one's a little more complicated. I'll explain that in just as we go to the board. Okay, so one of the things that when I rolled the movement die, I got that symbol there. That marks the closure of an airport, and it's the closure of an airport from the airport that we were in. We were in Lagos. So I'm going to close that airport, and that will mark the end of that. Now, the other thing that I did was I moved her from Lagos to through the Congo Basin to encounter the henchman Pierre. I got some word that you shouldn't be allowed to do that, but it doesn't say that in the rules. So if I was playing basically strictly on reading the rules, I would feel I could do that. So I'm going to leave that one alone, even though feedback says that's not something you should be able to do. So that said, that's going to really mark our corrections. That's it for what we need to correct for this turn before we start our gameplay. So we're going to jump right into it and go to Agent Nika Shizuka's turn. It should be a good one. Let's get started. So, wanting to make sure we keep the game progressing. It's one of the things you have to do in this game is make sure you keep things moving along. And if you don't, you could end up in a situation where you find yourself behind unexpectedly. So we're going to take some kind of bolder moves, try and get things really going at a clip. And so what we're going to do is go to the board. You can see that she's doing pretty well. She's got 3 health still. She's still got a couple of resolves she can spend, and her stats are pretty excellent at this point. She's also got 3 advanced skills and a couple of special cards to use too. So she's in a good place. So what we're going to do is we're going to use her last UN transport token to take her to a place where there is intel on the board. Okay, so this is Nika here. She's way up here in Novosibirsk, and she's going to use her UN token to go all the way down to La Paz, and that is this token here. So it has been used, and basically it's like a go anywhere token. You get every player gets a couple of them, so there are ways to get more. And then what we're going to do is we're not going to take this intel. We're going to not take the intel. Well, we're going to take something. What we're going to do is use the intel to place another henchman card on the board, and then we're going to draw a location card. So Rev Jirak, there's quite a bit going on up there, is where we find another henchman's lair. So we're going to have to get up there as well and see if we can't take out have an encounter with another henchman. Unfortunately, Rev Jirak's airport is closed, so we're going to have to get there the hard way. And then we're going to have an encounter in La Paz. Okay, so here's our South America encounter. It says Dirty Tricks, page 45, response group D, and then we're going to pull our fate card to see where what other number we have here. So as you can see, we got we take the one with intel, so we got page 45, response group D with intel number 4. So let's go to the book and see what happens to Nika on this adventure. Okay, well, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to react to the response group. So we got response group D. Now remember the mission is the encounter is called Dirty Tricks. So let's see what we get here. We get snoop around, charm, act strangely, act innocent, use force, praise, or won't be fooled. Well, with Nika, we're going to do something that sounds like we might be using persuasion or perhaps, I don't know, hand-to-hand. She's very good in hand-to-hand. Let's see, what would that be? Frightened? Well, that might be joke, trust no one, take charge, I'd rather be lucky, unorthodox. Let's go with, let's go with unorthodox. Let's go with 3. Just see what happens. Why not live it up and be crazy? So we're going to take 3, unorthodox. Okay, here's our adventure. So this is with Nika. The crowd around your table cheers as you down your 19th shot of, okay, some kind of vodka. Your Russian contact tells you that Kamut means seaport. He is ex-KGB, traveling the world with his wife, and occasionally leaking information to the UN for a price. This time you need information on an upcoming terrorist attack. The UN refuses to pay what he's asking, so you're going to try and get him drunk and talking. Trying to outdrink a KGB agent is risky. They trained for this. I'd rather be a good liver than have a good liver. Okay, that makes sense. You yell, and you down your 20th shot. It's going to be a long night and an agonizing morning. So we have to test athletics with 1 pass. Athletics -1 with 1 pass. Or we can use stealth. We don't have stealth, so we're going to have to test athletics. That's one of Nika's good spots. She's got a 3, so it's going to be -1. Okay, let's go to the dice roller and see what we can do here. Okay, there's our base die. Now remember, this is -1, so instead of getting 3 dice, she's going to get 2 more. She only needs 1 success, though, so we have a good shot at getting this one. There's the first die. It's the green one, and the second one is going to be black. That's good. The black has injuries, but it also has a lot of successes. So let's roll our dice. Okay. Oh man, that was rough. So we did get a success. We succeeded, but we took 2 injuries. That hurts her. She's now at 3 out of 4. So there's her 2 injuries. I'm putting those on her card, and then she succeeded. So let's go back to the adventure and see what a success gets her. Okay, so we're going to pull this down and look. See, here's the pass box right here. It says pass. He thinks you're too drunk to notice and slips something into your 28th shot. When you call him out on it, he slurs at you and tries to back away. You jump the table and pin him to the ground. Okay, 2 intel, or we get 2 intel, or we flip up 2 intel in the pool. I think we're going to do that since we have we have 4 face down intel tokens. So let's go see what we got in our intel pool. Okay, here's our intel pool. We're going to flip up 2 of these tokens. So we got a gun, 2 of them, a radio. That's great because we actually have enough right now to beat Dr. Lobo if we are able. So man, we might be getting close to doing something good here. Let's continue on. That's basically going to end Nika Shizuka's turn, but we do still have to draw her villain card. Okay, here's her end of turn event on the villain card. It says several trains bombed in Europe. Remove intel from Europe. There is not any. Yeah, there might be some in Derbyshire or whatever up in the top corner there. And it says add intel to Luanda. The airport is closed in Cairo. So we'll take care of that. We're losing our airports. This is the airport in Cairo that is closed. And then we have to remove intel. So if we look up here, this is a yellow space, which is technically a European space. So we will lose our intel from here. It does not take away the location for the villain. And we're going to add intel to Luanda, which would be in Africa. So that is going to go right there. Okay. Sorry, I guess you probably couldn't see where I took away the intel above because of the camera angle, but let me just show you that. So way up there in the top area where you see the green marker, there was an intel token as well. That's where the layer for the henchman is. So there is no intel there any longer, and there's one in Luanda. So we're going to go with Agent Sheena Mars here now. She is still in Australia. And something she could do now, which would be interesting, and I don't know if it's all that helpful, even though there is a red UN transport there, would be for her to, oh, it says it only does it, yeah, there's 2 upturned red intel token. We can move into Swagman's Hope if there is 2 intel red, or if there is a red intel token there, and there is. So I think for her full turn, that's what she's going to do. She's going to move into there, and we're going to have an Australian encounter there as well. Shouldn't have to move roll the dice. It's just it takes your entire move action to move into there. So let's do that, and then we'll stop and take the rest of her turn with her encounter. Okay, so the first thing we get to do is collect all of this stuff. So these 2 tokens go into our intel pool, and this red UN token goes on to Sheena Mars sheet. That means she can use that red intel token to go to and from Australia. Now remember, she is in Swagman's Hope. It's a special location, so we're going to draw her encounter card and see what happens. So here is our encounter card. Now normally, if you're on one of the normal cities, you use this space here, and if you're in Swagman's Hope, you use this here. So we're going to do Run for Your Life. It's page 2, M, and now we're going to draw the fake card. Now there's something different there as well. I'll show you what that is. Instead of, with Swagman's Hope, instead of using this, we're going to use the number in the blue, which is what's indicated here, so you know that on the card. So this is going to be our encounter right here. We're going to have page 2 and response group M and 3. So let's go to the book and see what happens. Okay, here's our encounter chart for Swagman's Hope, or for this encounter in Australia. We're going to be in a group M here. Remember, it's the adventure is Run for Your Life. So we can do a friendly g'day, out of the frying pan, stick to the shadows, or make good with a bad idea. Now, stick to the shadows. Her spycraft is high, her persuasion, deception is low. Let's do. Why don't we try out of the frying pan? Let's do that one. So, okay, we're going to do that. So it's going to be 2. So we're going to go page 2, 2, and 3. Let's get that out, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so here we are with our encounter. We're at 2, 2, 3 right here. I'm just going to send it for you so you can see it a little better. Well, that didn't do it, did it? Sorry, guys. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, it says, you made faces at the guards until they chased you, then ran hell for leather around the corner before nipping back through a hole in the fence. The guards run past. No worries. You head indoors expecting to see a tied-up scientist and at most a guard or 2, to find 6 pistols leveled at you. We don't take kindly to sticky beaks here, growls a man closest to you. Here, beef, he says to the man behind him. Shoot him in the face and we'll send him home in a box. Okay, so we have to test deception -2 or pass with disguise. Well, this is going to be really not good for us. Our deception is only a 1, so for -2 we're basically just at our base die. We have seduction and gambling as our skills, so we do not have disguise. We're probably going to have to spend a resolve. I don't think this is going to go well for her, but let's go to the dice roller and see what happens. Yeah, so I don't have high hopes for this. Basically, we're going to be down to our base die on this one. I could spend a resolve to add a die. Well, even if I do that, will she be able to? Because she's only going to have a 1. So she's got her base die, she's -2, she gets 1, so basically that's it. She's just going to have her base die. Well, I think we're just going to have to give it a go. Okay, let's roll our dice. Okay guys, here we go. Well, we healed 1, but does that mean we failed? I don't know, I'm going to have to check that out. I think that means that we did not succeed at our mission, but we did heal a die. This is not good for us, but it is okay. It's not the worst thing that could happen. So let's do that and see how things go. She did have 1 wound on her, so we are going to get to take that off. Boom. And that's going to be it. I'm going to have to assume that even though she managed to heal herself somehow, she did fail. Okay, so here we are. We're going to go down to the fail attempt. Struth, mate, you say. Can't you spare time for A copper without a brass residue. The men roll eyes and bullets chew up the ground as you scramble away from the house. One injury. Okay, so that wound that she just took, got rid of, she got back. Unfortunately, her persuasion goes down from 2 to 1. That's not the worst thing that could happen. We're also going to draw a villain card. So let's see what happens with that. So I guess the good news is that we have a bunch of intel. I have to check some things and see how we can win the game, because we have enough intel to hit Dr. Lobo's lair, but there's some things we have to do first. So let's look at this. We're going to not do the end of enemy turn event. Ooh, this is really not good for us, because we had enough intel to do this and now we won't, to beat Dr. Lobo, and now we won't. It says villain advancement. South Africa pays SMERSH 100 million upon threat of detonation of a dirty bomb. Advance. We're going to advance his track 2. Yuck. So here's his track, and we're going to advance that to here. So we do have everything but one radio still in order to take that down. We have the gun, we have the double agent, we have 2 guns, double agent, we just need the radio. But we still have to draw a end of turn event as well. So let's see what that is. End of turn event. It says African states mired by civil war. Intel is removed from Africa. That sucks because we had intel in Luganda, and we're going to add intel to Georgetown. Okay, well, and the airport closes in Panama City. Okay, so first things first, let's move over here. We're going to put the airport closure on Panama City. We're going to remove this intel from Luanda, and then we're going to add intel to Georgetown, which is, let me find it, and I will put a token there. Okay, we're going to grab a random intel token from here, and we're going to put 1 intel here in Georgetown, and then that will be the end of Sheena Mars's turn. Not a good turn for her, but we did collect a bunch of stuff. So now we're going to move on to Callie Dagger. Well, Callie's still in pretty good shape. She's got 2 hits. She's got resolve. Her stats are pretty solid. So I think we're going to use her last UN transport token, and we're going to go try and encounter the villain. See what we can get there. So she uses that, which is automatically going to transport her from her spot in Nairobi all the way up to Revjak in northern Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so here's her move with her transport token to here. And then we're going to, instead of encounter space, we're going to encounter Darling. Man, we're going to put her on her 3rd level. That is awesome if we can succeed. So let's go over to Darling and see what we have to do. Okay, so here's Darling. I read her backstory in a couple of sessions ago. So what we have to do, she's level 2 now because we've encountered her already. In this case, we have to test Persuasion -1. That's great because Callie Dagger's Persuasion is okay. It's actually the highest stat she has. So at a 3, so that's pretty good. And we have to convince Darling to call off her thugs and face you one-on-one. If we pass, we get 1 intel. If we fail, we take 1 injury and lower hand-to-hand. I think we'll be okay with this one. So let's go to the dice roller and see what we can do. Now, again, Callie Dagger's best stat is her Persuasion. It's a 3. So she's going to get 2 dice because it is -1. So for her first die, she's got the black one, which actually could kill her if we're not careful. And for her second die, she's going to have the blue one. Okay, let's roll our dice, and I don't think we need to spend a resolve on this. Let's just roll and see if we can take Darling down 1 more time. Okay, let's roll our dice. Wow, 3 successes. Amazing. Okay, so we did defeat Darling. That puts her marker up to level 3. That was successful. And again, for doing that, we gain 1 intel. So we're going to take an intel and put it in the pool. That's good because it gets us one bit closer to winning. In addition to that, we did defeat her, so that means our location intelligence goes up 1 more. Now, we need 2 more encounters with henchmen or some other way to advance the location intelligence to actually be able to defeat Dr. Lobo, and we have to do it fairly quickly. So that's a good thing. We're just going to keep on going, and that was a good end of the round for Callie. So all we have to do left for her is draw her end of round card. Okay, so for her end of turn event, it says SMERSH researchers researches Hades zombie serum for use in chemical warfare. It says add intel to Madrid and Moscow. Well, I'm glad we've cleared a lot of intel because this could have been problematic for us, but we only have one intel on the board right now, so put us up to 3. And we're going to close the airport in her current city. It's already closed, so we don't have to worry about that. We're just going to put 2 random intel in Madrid and Moscow. Okay guys, that's going to end our full turn there. That wasn't too bad. You know, one thing I've been forgetting to do, it's not super critical, but I did want to include this other guy's shadow. Basically, when we encounter a henchman, we're supposed to roll a 1 or 2, or a die, and if we roll a 1 or 2, we encounter him. I'll try and remember to make sure we do that next time. It is an add-on, so, but I want to show you how that worked. Anyway, let's end it for now. We got quite a bit of intel in our pool, as you can see up there in the corner, and we have to get 2 more encounters or raise the location intelligence 2 more times in order to successfully defeat Dr. Lobo, assuming we have enough intelligence. We've got a lot in there, and all but 1 item showing, so I think we're probably pretty good if we continue to encounter the henchmen. So until next time, thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.